What is up, fellas? Today is February 6th, 2026, and today I made just about 4 grand day trading NQ. Now, sad part is I did make 4 grand, yes, but I could have made a lot more, believe it or not. I took a loss just prior to taking this winning trade, and looking back on it, the winning trade, of course, was a better setup. I still took the loss in the first trade, but it's okay. In hindsight, I could have probably avoided that loss, but overall, I think it was a fine trading day nonetheless. Full transparency, 5 of the 10 accounts I took this trade on were evals in my pathway to a payout series, but those accounts are so close to being passed now. I think the balance is at like 52,100 something. So one more trade, those are passed, and I would have them passed in 3 winning trades after taking a loss as well. So that is good. And before I get into this trade recap, as you guys know, I trade SIS trading. It is the simplest inversion system in the entire space. It is one of the easiest models to learn. I teach it entirely for free in my Discord. I have tons of free resources, free PDF on my entire model, IFEG ranking systems, all that, and I live trade it every single day in the Discord on top of doing all that. So if you want to join that, link in the description, links to all that. Take advantage of them. There's no reason you shouldn't. And that being said, let's get right into this recap. All right, so looking at the charts in the morning, this is kind of funny because I had a bullish daily bias today and I took 2 shorts. So it's kind of contradictory to the bias, but you'll see why in a second. Normally I wouldn't trade against my bias, but today I had to, and the trades were just as good. So a couple draws I noticed coming off rip is had this big hourly fair value gap. Obviously, we had this high right here that we made. All right, so on the 5-minute time frame now, this is what I was looking at pre-market, and quite honestly, I was very bullish because if you look at the fib tool real quick, we were obviously a little bit overextended to the upside, and you'll notice the EQ of this range lines up perfectly with this low, and I thought we were going to rebalance towards equilibrium, then get a flip to the upside, targeting this high. This was my daily objective. This is all I wanted to see get hit on the day. I thought that was the most obvious draw, so I was like, bet. I want to see this low get tapped. I want to see us trade in this gap, balance EQ, see if we can get an inversion to the upside. That's my bullish bias. That's going to be my long opportunity. So you'll see if I let market open here. First candle towards market open, we start dumping towards those lows. I'm like, great, we're going to hit them, get a rotation to the upside. And obviously, if I let a couple more candles play out here, you will see within 2 candles, we had taken my draw. And I was like, son of a bitch. I was upset because I thought we took this low. I wanted to get an inversion, which would have been this 1-minute gap right here. But clearly, when we got that inversion, this is where price was at. What am I supposed to do? Take a trade like this? Obviously, that wouldn't work. And my draw got taken within 2 candles of market open. And I was kind of upset. I was like, damn, I really wanted to get a trade off this. So I started asking myself, all right, what draws do we have to the left that could possibly be an area of rejection? And I'll just let price play out so you can see what happened. But clearly, we trade lower, respect that 1-minute gap, keep going higher, holding this bullish structure. And you'll see we open up two fair value gaps stacked up right here. 2 1-minute fair value gaps, pretty obvious. And I just was looking for something that could possibly get hit on the higher time frame to the left of us. And you will see that, we had traded perfectly into this 4-hour fair value gap. So considering we made this move higher right off market open, I thought, yes, this was my daily objective, but maybe we can get like a play to trade lower towards that low. We had an unfilled 5-minute fair value gap below, so I'm like, great. I want to see if we can get a sell-off now off of this high. And we traded into that 4-hour gap. I thought that was going to be the area of rejection, and you will notice we have these 2 stacked up 1-minute fair value gaps. So I wanted to see these get run through, and I was going to take a short, probably towards the 932 wick, just down here, market open wick. I thought that'd be a pretty obvious trade. And you'll see if I let a couple candles play out here, we dump right through these gaps, death candle. I'm like, bang. Perfect short opportunity. Enter short right here. Stop at about the body closure of the candle. And I just was looking to take this down, break even at this internal low. And I was looking to take this to the pre-market lows. Break even right here. Thought this was going to be pretty obvious. Thought I'd get at least a break even. And unfortunately, within 3 candles, I got rinsed. Thank God I went light risk on this because this was a good setup. I went light risk and I'm like, oh God, that's not good. But I wasn't done for the day. I was in light risk. Didn't lose too much money. And I'm like, okay. What draws to the left do we have that could possibly tell us where price might want to go? And you'll notice very obvious draws is 15-minute high inside of this fair value gap. So I noticed this draw to the left, big 15-minute imbalance, and we have this high inside of it. Super obvious draw. Highs inside of gaps, always very prominent draws. So I thought, all right, maybe we can trade towards that high and get a trade off of that. So just to be fully transparent here, if we traded towards this high and didn't reject, I was done for the day just because I figured we'd be too bullish if we didn't see a clean reaction off of this high. And we trade around, and just a little bit later, we take out this 15-minute high right at 950. So we lined up perfectly with a 950 macro. So great time frame alignment, great draw we had, great area to bounce from. and I was looking for a rebalance play. There was a couple draws I had. Obviously this low, and then you could have even held it all the way down to the unfilled 5 minute we had below, which was going to be down here, which this is the unfilled 5 minute, which would have been final take profit. So those were my obvious draws I had to the downside, and all I needed to see was a confirmation entry, IFEG lower. And look at this. We take the high, and literally one candle later, we get an immediate V-shape dump through this gap. I'm taking the short all day. Super obvious. Confluences swept the 15-minute high in the gap. We had kind of like an SMT. It wasn't like a really obvious SMT. It was like just NQ was trading higher than ES was. Took out this 15-minute high. ES didn't actually take out that 15-minute high. Both had filled in the external draw, which is a 4-hour gap, but only NQ had swept this high inside the gap. So we had an SMT there, got an immediate 1-minute inversion through there, and we had an unfilled 5-minute below as an external draw on liquidity for a rebalance play, meaning that we would rebalance this price action. So this was the trade I was looking to take. I had this internal low for my break-even point. I thought that was a pretty obvious break-even point. We should just dump through that baby trend line we had. You'll notice we had a bunch of stacked up lows and like almost a perfect trend line right here. We should probably run that and rebalance the unfilled 5-minute. That's a prominent area that price always likes to rebalance. So this is my break-even point. I had my take profit 1 at this internal low right here just to get out at some piece of the pie, because obviously this was very good risk to reward ratio, and this 5-minute was also going to be my take profit 2. So I entered this, and clearly you'll see within a couple candles immediately went break even, came right down towards this TP1, and here's where I had my little scare was price traded back higher, obviously in its 1-minute gap, and you'll see later on this gap was respected, and we continued dumping to the unfilled 5-minute, hitting full take profit, putting me up $400 on all 10 of my accounts that I took this on, 5 being eval, 5 being past funded accounts, and that was after a loss. It's not like I made $400 total. This was soaking a loss and making $400 on top of it because of the good risk management I used and the good RR we had on this trade. That being said, after today, I can't stress the importance of risk management and knowing how to set up your account where if you take a loss, you can still possibly get another entry on the day. I knew that just because I took a loss, this trade was still valid. It wasn't like I was revenge trading. I just knew there was going to be valid setups. We still had one draw that we could get a play off of, and clearly we did. And just some sauce here, this is the most sauce I can give you guys in this video, is there are 2 objectives each day has. You have a daily objective and you have a rebalance. You're going to have some external draw on liquidity. That is going to be your target for the day. And then you're going to have a rebalance play either before or after making a move to that draw. If you are not taking the trade either to that draw or rebalancing from that draw, you should not be taking a trade in general. If you cut out every other trade in between there, that's just noise, your win rate will shoot up by at least 15% guaranteed. 2 trades you should look for in a day. External draw, which is your daily objective, and the rebalance before or after that. All you need to do, and you will have an 80% win rate if you apply a simple IFEG system like mine, link in bio to learn that. That being said, I'm ending this week, I believe 3-1, and I've almost passed these evals in 4 trades. I'm currently 3-1 on these evals, and I need one very small trade to pass. I'm guaranteed next trade I take, they're going to be passed no matter what. And then I will be funded on these 5 accounts, showing you guys I actually know what I'm doing, and my pathway to a payout series will come to an end as soon as I get to a payout, and show you guys that the shit really is that easy if you just apply a few simple confluences and good risk management. In conclusion, that is what I am looking to stress the most today, is that it should not be this hard to get in and out of funded account challenges. Like, seriously, it's not that deep. Risk appropriately, size accordingly, and you'll be in and out in no time on your way to your first payout. So that being said, if you want a bunch of free resources to go along with me showing you how to get in and out of these funded accounts and trade exactly how I do, link in description, Discord, live trading every single day, tons of free resources on my model. No reason you shouldn't join. I hope to see all of you inside, and have a good day, everybody.